All right, Will Durst, do we really want a dad? I mean, a dad to come in and spank us, a dad to encourage us, a dad to say, you know, go brush your teeth. I mean, what do we want?
Or if we've been bad, to shoot us in the face accidentally. Say what you will about Sarah Palin. She looks like she can handle a gun better than the current vice president. Yeah.
You know, the story behind that is apparently the father wanted the daughters to register for the hunting permits. The daughters didn't want to go hunting at all. And he wanted to be able to get extra moose, apparently. Mud Flats, it's a great blog from Alaska.
I don't know if America wants a dad. I don't know if America knows what it wants. Well, they're not big on mom. I thought Hillary was a good mom, but maybe she just wasn't lovable enough. Barack also, I'm worried about the Bradley effect. I mean, everybody in California right now thinks that it's all over. But you guys, I grew up in the Midwest. I go there a lot. My aunt Hugla is a wonderful woman. 5 boys, put them all through school. She's a cafeteria school lady. You know what the hairnet and stuff? She volunteers. They don't even pay for that position anymore. And she will not vote for Barack. She voted for Bush because she didn't believe that the president would lie to us. She agreed with the invasion of Iraq because, oh, that was the guy that knocked those 2 towers down. No, 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 that was Osama bin Laden. This is Saddam Hussein. Which is the one with the beard? So there's a lot of people out there, we pay attention to the media. We watch all this stuff. There's a lot of people in America who don't, and you can, this is very illustrative because look at that first debate. I thought the first debate was pretty much a tie. And yet everybody in America was confused by John McCain being as ornery as an enchanted stump with an irritable bowel syndrome. I mean, and he was stamping his little feet. But for those of us who had been watching all the Republican debates, we were used to that guy. There were a lot of people who had never seen him like that before, and it's the same thing as in the year 2000. We thought Al Gore won the debate, but America disapproved of Al Gore's deep sighs and his eye rollings, and I think America disapproved of McCain, you know, being so contentious. And I wasn't surprised by that because we had watched, what, the 20 Republican debates and the 26 Democratic debates, and God, they were riveting. It was like listening to golf on the radio in Mandarin, yeah.
So, there was somebody yesterday on my show who used the phrase, I can't remember if it was you or Liz or Marion, but used the phrase low-info voter, that there was a substantial portion of the American electorate that were low-info voters. They didn't have a lot of information. They made their decision based on not a lot of information, maybe on the color of somebody's beard, for all I know.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's where a lot of the fate of our democracy rests.
Well, it's gotten worse than that in a sense. You know, we have an administration now whose top advisors, through Ron Suskind's book, has told us they don't believe in the reality-based paradigm, and we, you know, the factistas, as Stephen Colbert likes to say, that we're behind the curve. This weird attachment we have to fact and reality and rational thinking is so 90s, you know, and so in that context, low-info voter maybe has more information than he needs.
Well, it's this kind of closed system that, you know, we've lived for 8 years under the rule of these guys who have and one woman who have an ideology, which is, you know, their own, basically their own fictional system that replaces reality. And it has its set of goals, and they don't care whether reality matches with those set of goals because their real commitment is to this story, not to reality.
So I said thanks, but no thanks to that bridge to nowhere.
Yeah.
No, you didn't, and you kept the money.
Yeah, I know, and it's continued.
There's the liberal elite media trying to tear her down again. And I'm tired of it.
But I think, you know, in a way, the wrestling we're looking at now is over. You know, whether you're going to look at reality and tell the truth, or follow along with lies. And there's a story that Hannah Arendt, if you know who she was, she was a survivor of the Holocaust and got out and was in Manhattan. And she wrote a book called Origins of Totalitarianism, which is about both Stalin and Hitler. And one of the things that she remarked on is that during the Second World War, when the German cities were being bombed, Goebbels would say, oh, the Allies are not doing any damage to our cities. But if you walked out your door in any of those cities, you'd see that there was rubble all around you, and the gas wasn't working, the lights weren't working, you couldn't get any food. But the German people believed what they were told by the authorities, rather than what they were taking in with their own five senses. And what they said to themselves was, they must know something we don't.
Well, so that suggests that there's an element of trust necessary between the governed and the governing.
I would say there's an element of what is it, lemmings or sheep or something, that necessary to have an authoritarian rule.
Well, that is part of the depth of the crisis right now. We have a president that is credible to almost no one anymore, to people who voted for him twice.
Yeah.
So we have in the wake, and without trying to get into the economics of this crisis, which I only know a little bit about, in crisis, you want authority that has some credibility. Nobody believes the guy anymore, which increases the chaos.
Yeah. All right, so
I collect quotes, and I've gotten some great quotes over the last year. George Bush actually said right before the whole economic crisis came down, he said, "We're working hard on economic turmoil." Mission accomplished.
So it's a plot. It's a plot to leave a poison pill for the next president to deal with.
You know, we always read about these African countries, and they're being looted by their government and their government's cronies, because buddies doesn't have the same, negative connotation, so cronies.
Pals.
And you look at what's happening, gas, $4 a gallon, Mobil Exxon's first quarter profit, one company, one quarter, $42 billion. Any connection between the two? Nope, simply coincidence. And I got the feeling future generations are going to look at George Bush as Robert Mugabe, just looting the country before he gets out.
Yeah, I mean, with Bush, I think it wasn't even all the money going over to corporations. It was just to his oil buddies and his friends.
So then
the
attack line, one of the most recent attack lines that the McCain campaign has used against the Obama campaign is he wants to spread the wealth, or that he's socialist. And yet, we see the conservative Republican government nationalizing industries and spreading the wealth to corporations, and doing it through tax cuts for the rich across the board. And McCain years ago was quoted as saying, I think it's necessary with our taxing structure, to tax well-to-do people so that you can afford schools, police, fire stations, and so forth, for the middle class.